Students, in the previous section, I have told you about the crucial developments which happened in the medieval and early modern world, like feudalism, the European Renaissance, and the encounters between Europeans and the people of the Americas. Now, in this theme, I am going to tell you about the shaping of our modern world, which ultimately happened due to the industrialization, the rapid industrialization, and ultimately this rapid industrialization led the whole world towards modernization. Now, the changes that occurred in the phase of the industries, like you can say, first of all, before the industrialization, that was known as the pre-industrialization period. At that time, mostly all the work was done with the help of hands, and they were done in homes. The people, when they were free from their work, they used to weave the cloth and in their homes with the help of their hands, and then they used to sell it in the market. So everything was happening in the home with the help of hands. But with the invention of new machines and technology, ultimately there was a transformation, and the work which was done with the help of hands in homes, now it was done with the help of machines. All the production was done with the help of machines in the big factories, and this ultimately led to the industrialization. And this industrialization especially happened in the textile industry, that is the cloth that was woven with the help of hand. Now with the help of the new machines, the clothes was woven with the help of machines, and this led to the mass production in the textile industry. So this world industrialization came from the textile industry, which ultimately took the shape of a revolution. So, and in this chapter, I am going to tell you about the Industrial Revolution. Britain was the world's first industrial nation, means Britain was the first country to experience industrialization. And this I am going to tell that how the Industrial Revolution took place in Britain. For long, it was believed that British industrialization provided the model for industrialization in other countries. Okay, so Britain emerged as a model nation for the industrialization for other country. Britain set an example for other countries that how with the help of industries you can become a superpower. Okay, so now students, I am going to tell you some important points about this chapter when I am going to proceed with the lesson. Which I have prepared for you. Okay, so as I have already told you, what is Industrial Revolution? So the transformation of industry and the economy which happened in Britain between the 1780 to 1850 is called the first industrial revolution. So what was the period of the industrial revolution? From 1780 to 1850. So a period of 70 years led to the industrial revolution. This had far-reaching effects in Britain. Later, similar changes occurred in European countries and in the USA. Means because the Britain was the first country to experience industrialization. So, mostly all the people, the population of the Britain, they were much affected with this industrialization, but its effects were felt in other countries, means its effects, the other countries were also affected by the industrialization that happened in England, in Britain. The phase of industrial development in Britain is strongly associated with new machines. So you can see how I have shown you the pictures. So you can see the machines which are installed in a factory in a row wise. So many machines are there which is making the protection possible. And in the first picture you can see the machines that were these machines were the work in these machines were done with the help of hands, but now this is power looms you can see, and these machines run with the help of power. Okay, and this ultimately led to the industrial revolution. So these machines made the goods to be produced in a massive scale as compared to handicraft and handloom industries. The cheaper outlines. Okay, so it also makes the goods very, because the mass production was possible with the help of the machines, so it reduced the cost of the goods also, and the goods were now sold in much cheaper than they were previously sold when they were made with the help of hands. So with the help of the industrial revolution, two things became possible. First of all, mass production. The markets were flooded with the goods that were manufactured with the help of machines, and second, their cost were reduced in much and these goods were sold in very cheap rates, or you can say the goods that were first of all sold in very expensive manner, now they are much cheaper, and everyone they can afford, everyone living over there, they can afford the machine made goods. So their cost were reduced because bulk production was there due to the industrialization. Now I am coming to the lesson. So this is the notes that I have prepared for you for explaining you this lesson, because the lesson is very lengthy, so it will be much better if I explain you with the help of my notes. The term industrial revolution was used by European scholars George Machelet in France and Friedrich Engels in Germany. So first of all, these two terms, that is the industrial revolution, was used by the two economists, that is George Machelet in France and Friedrich Engels, who was one of the economists and sociologists of Germany. It refers to the great change in the field of industries when the production of goods by hand in the houses were replaced with the help of machines in factories. So I have already told you, see, what is industrial revolution? Industrial revolution means that when the goods that were made with the help of hands, they were now produced or manufactured with the help of machines in a bulk quantity, in a more quantity, in cheaper rates. This is known as industrial revolution, because with the help of machines, one can produce more goods in less time and in much reduced cost. And this industrial revolution happened with the invention of new machines that first of all took place in England. England was the first country to experience industrialization during the 17th century. So 17th century, late 17th century, so you can say starting of the 18th century, from 1780s to 1850, and it was a very gradual change or a gradual transformation. Revolution means transformation or a complete change. So this industrial revolution, this is also the change of production of goods which happened due to the inventions of new machine, is also referred to as industrial revolution, because this also led to a transformation from producing the or making the goods by hand, then completely uh, through the with the help of machines, bulk production with the help of machines. So it was also phase of transformation. Okay, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन मीन्स बदलाव की स्थिति, जबकि पहले जो हाथों से जो वस्तुओं को बनाया जाता था, अब हाथों की जगह मतलब रिप्लेसमेंट हुआ, मशीनों से जो है वस्तुओं को बनाया जाने लगा, और मशीनों की मदद से जो वस्तुएं बनती थी, दे वर ऑफ बेटर क्वालिटी, दे वर मेड इन लेस कॉस्ट, देयर कॉस्ट वॉज रिड्यूस्ड, and they were produced in bulk. Bulk means their quantities increased, and so these goods which were manufactured with the help of machines, they over flooded the markets of Britain. And now the British government and the capitalist of the Britain, they have to explore new places where they can sell their finished product and where they can get the cheap raw material for making the production possible. And for this they set out exploring for the other countries, and in this way they started colonizing these smaller or less powerful country for their own benefit. So industrial revolution is not only the change in the economic system, like how the economic system changed due to the industrial revolution. Those people who were having excess money, now they were investing in setting up the industries and buying the machines and installing them in their factories and making the production possible. So these people who were investing their money in establishing industry and making the production possible, they were now known as capitalists, and the people who were working on their factories, they were known as labor. So ultimately this industrialization led to a new formation of the society, where the whole society of the Europe was divided into two groups. First, the capitalists, who were wealthy people, who were rich industrialists, and the labor class, who belonged to the poor class people, who were earning their income with the help of by working on these factories and getting meager wages. So they were the people who were exploited by the capitalists. So there was a wide gap. This ultimately led to a wide gap between the rich capitalist and the poor labor class people. Okay, so the whole Europe society was divided into two class. First, who were few, and these few people who formed a very less proportion of the population, but where the concentration of wealth was more, and they were investing money in setting up huge industries and making the production possible and with the help of laborers. But they were also exploiting these laborers by giving them less wages, meager wages, and taking more work and working hours from them, and the other who were forming the majority of the population of a country, but they were not property, they were not having any property, they were very poor class people, and they were sustaining their life by working on these industries and getting meager wages, and hence they were mostly exploited. Okay, So this is known as industrial revolution. Industrial revolution led to a great prosperity for some, but in the initial stages it was linked with poor living and working condition of millions of people. Means that industrialization that happened in England was also a symbol of prosperity and development for the country, because ultimately with the help of industrialization mass production was possible, and through these mass production the people of that particular country, they were able to sell their finished product in other countries and getting more income. So it ultimately led to the increase of their status and increase of their income. But there were other negative instances also, and the negative instances were those people who were living near to these industries. They were the worst sufferer because first of all the pollution, the industrialization led to the pollution. These people, they were living in a very polluting state, like the first of all the chimneys of these industries, they were giving more and more of carbon dioxide. So living in these conditions was very difficult. And second thing, at that time there was no proper arrangement for any type of drainage facility. So all the dirty water that came and that water that was mixed with chemicals that ran along the streets, and even that water used to mix with the drinking water, making it unfit to drink it. Okay, so the laborers, and these laborers whose labor quarters were very much close to the industry, they were always at prone to the risk of their life because of the in hygienic conditions, and second, chemicals industries, if they were living closer to it. So sometime if there was any leakage, then they used to die because of these accidents. So this industrialization led to both these circumstances. First, to greater prosperity, then second, it was linked with unhygienic and poor living conditions of millions of people. Then it also included women and children, because when the industrialization took place in Britain, then most of the people from villages, they migrated toward the cities, and it also included women and children. And women and children were the most exploited, means they were most exploited by these industrialists, because they were these women and children, first of all they used to get less wages than the males, and second, they had to give more working hours, and in this way the capitalists used to exploit them. Okay, so as I have already told you that this term industrial revolution was used by European scholars, George Michel in France and Friedrich Engels in Germany. It was used for the first time in English by the philosopher and economist and Arnold Toynbee 1852 to 83 to describe the changes that occurred in British industrial development between 1760 and 1820. So it was a period of 60 years. Okay, now later historians T.S. Esthonian, Paul Mantock and Eric Hobsbawm broadly agreed with Toynbee. There was a remarkable economic growth, but ultimately industrial development led to the economic growth, and so like Britain, it became a developed nation and one of the powerful nation during the 18th century, which helped the Britain to colonize the less powerful countries because of the industrial revolution that took place in England only. Okay, so what is the reason that why Britain only experienced the industrialization? So first of all, we have to see the geographical location. So Britain enjoys a very good geographical location. So, and there were other reasons also, like political stability. After the Britain was unified, okay, so when the unification of Britain took place in 1707, when the Scotland was merged with England. Then ultimately, United Kingdom was formed, and unification of Britain took place, and then it ultimately led to the stability. So when there is a political stability, then economic progress always happens. So this is also one of the reason, because peace has been ushered, and so the people were living happily in a peaceful atmosphere, and so it led to more inventions of the machines. Then second thing is that United Kingdom means there is a good inland waterways in United Kingdom, and which through these inland waterways there is a good network of waterways within the Britain, and so these waterways were connecting one city to another. So water was the cheapest means of transport at that time, and so ultimately the means. And third reason was that Britain is good means it has very good, it is very rich in natural resources like coal and iron mines. So coal and iron mines, especially when we talk about industries, then iron is the backbone of all the industries. So many mines related to iron and coals are found over there, and that was also one of the reason for the industrialization that happened in Britain. Okay, now in the 18th century, England had been through a major economic change, later described as the agricultural revolution. This was the process by which bigger landlords had brought up small farms near their own properties and enclosed the village common land. मीन्स 18 सेंचुरी में उन्होंने कुछ इकोनॉमिक चेंजेस हुए थे, जिसको कि एग्रीकल्चरल रेवोल्यूशन भी कहा जाता है, जिसमें कि जो कॉमन फील्ड्स होते थे, इंग्लैंड में कुछ कॉमन फील्ड्स होते थे जिसको कम्युनिटी लैंड भी कहा जाता था, एंड दे वर नॉट अंडर द पोजेशन ऑफ एनीवन, बट लेटर ऑन ड्यूरिंग द 18th century द लैंड लॉर्ड्स दे यूज टू इंक्रोच्ड, मीन्स दे इंक्रोच्ड अपॉन द कॉमन लैंड. इंक्रोच्ड मतलब उसको मतलब अपने उसमें मिला लिया उन्होंने. और फिर अब जो एग्रीकल्चरल लेबरर्स थे फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ डूइंग एग्रीकल्चर, हु वर लैंडलेस एग्रीकल्चरल लेबरर्स, दे हैव टू माइग्रेट टू वर्ल्ड द सिटीज, एंड इन दिस वे दे बिकेम द means the industrial labor. Okay, now some changes. Okay, why Britain? So why Britain? I was telling you, it that had been politically stable. So पॉलिटिकल स्टेबल मैंने आपको बताया था, यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ ब्रिटेन से हुआ था. सिंस द 18th century विद इंग्लैंड, वेल्स एंड स्कॉटलैंड मिक्स were unified under a monarchy. This meant that the kingdom had common laws, a single currency, and a market that was not fragmented by local authorities. Besides, England had great domestic and international market under its control, which helped in the growth of industrial revolution. तो जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया है कि जब यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ ब्रिटेन हुआ था, जिसको हम यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ यूनाइटेड किंगडम कहते हैं, और जब इंग्लैंड ने, जो कि उस समय का सबसे पावरफुल था, उसने स्कॉटलैंड और वेल्स को मर्ज कर लिया था, और अंडर अ यूनिफाइड मोनार्की मतलब उनका एक ही राजा था, सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. एंड सेकेंड थिंग कि जब इट वाज यूनिफाइड, तो जो इनका मतलब इट केम अंडर डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल ऑफ द मोनार्कियल्स एंड अ सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. तो सेम यूनिफॉर्म जो सिस्टम थे वो लागू कर दिए गए. ये सेम यूनिफॉर्म सिस्टम मीन्स सेम uniform laws were implemented throughout the United Kingdom. Same currency, one currency, uniform currency for the purpose of trade, and also there was no trade barriers, so the people can freely move from one place to another, and even the goods can be transported from one place to another without any type of trade barriers, and so it led to the economic growth. Okay, then towns. From the 18th century, many towns in Europe were growing in area and in population. Population of most of the European cities doubled between 1750 and 1800. द लार्जेस्ट ऑफ देम वॉज लंडन. सबसे ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन वहाँ एकदम से बढ़ गई थी. तो जब एकदम से पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती तो मीन्स ऑफ लिविंग कम हो जाते हैं, और ख़ास तौर से जो पॉपुलेशन जब शहरों में, तो शहर बहुत ओवर क्राउडेड हो जाते. तो नाउ अब दे हैव टू लुक आफ्टर अनदर, तो गांव को भी शहर में मिला लिया जाता, सो दैट इट कैन अकोमोडेट सच अ बिग पॉपुलेशन. ठीक है ना. तो इस तरह से लंदन जो है बड़ा ही होता जा रहा था. द बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड वॉज फाउंडेड इन 1694. Coal and iron were important raw materials. Then Abraham Darby invented the blast furnace. Then there was a set of inventions. सबसे पहले अब्राहम डर्बे ने इन्वेंशन किया था. तो यहाँ पे जितने भी इन्वेंशंस हुए थे वो आवश्यकता की वजह से हुए थे, मीन्स बिकॉज ऑफ द नेसेसिटी. ओके, नॉट बिकॉज दैट दे वर दोज पीपल हु इन्वेंटेड दीज न्यू मशीन्स, दे वर नॉट वेरी मच लर्नेड, दे वर नॉट सो मच मीन्स they were not from any science background, but they were working in these mines, and so the working in mine was very dangerous. So because of their necessity and to sustain their life, they invented new machines like steam engine and all that. In the same way, those who were in the profession like blacksmiths and all that, they invented the machines. Like Abraham Darby, he invented the blast furnace. तो blast furnace क्या था? blast furnace वो था जिसमें कि जो रॉ जो पिग आयरन होता है, पिग आयरन जो सीधे माइन से निकाल के लाया जाता है, और उसको वो ला करके उसमें वहाँ पे वो, क्योंकि पिग आयरन इट इज़ मिक्सड विद ऑल टाइप ऑफ इम्प्योरिटीज़. ठीक है ना. ख़ास तौर से वो रॉक के अंदर होता है, तो रॉक को तोड़ के उस आयरन को निकाला जाता है, तो उसको वो ब्लास्ट करते हैं. तो ब्लास्ट से एकदम से वो जो बड़े बड़े पत्थर होते हैं वो टूट जाते हैं और उसका आयरन निकल आता है. तो इस तरह से अब्राहम डर्बे ने इसका इन्वेंशन किया था. ठीक है ना. देन इसके बाद है वर्ल्ड फर्स्ट आयरन ब्रिज वॉज बिल्ड ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड. ठीक है ना. तो इन्होंने जो है आयरन ब्रिज भी पहले, क्योंकि आयरन जो था पहले इट वॉज नॉट मिक्सड विद कार्बन टू मेक इट वेरी हार्ड मटेरियल. सो व्हाट इज़ द हार्डेस्ट मटेरियल? स्टील. स्टील इज़ द हार्डेस्ट मटेरियल, बिकॉज स्टील के साथ जो कार्बन मिलाया जाता है उससे आयरन को हार्डनेस दी जाती है. अदरवाइज आयरन इज़ वेरी ब्रिटल, आयरन आसानी से टूट सकता है और आयरन में आसानी से रस्ट भी लग सकती है. तो जो अब्राहम डर्बे थे उन्होंने सबसे पहले आयरन का ब्रिज जो है लंदन में बनाया था. टू एंड इट हाउ इट मेड इट पॉसिबल? विद द हेल्प ऑफ चारकोल. चारकोल से उन्होंने जो है उसको हार्डनेस दी थी. In the 17th century, Wales and Scotland were unified. London was the largest city as well as a city of global trade. England had a number of colonies in Asia, Africa and Europe. उस समय तक इंग्लैंड ने काफ़ी जो है देशों के ऊपर, ख़ासतौर से अफ्रीका और एशिया के ऊपर उसने अपनी कॉलोनीज़ बनाई थी. These helped in obtaining the raw material for industries. By the 18th century, the center of global trade had shifted from Mediterranean ports of Italy and France to the Atlantic ports of Holland and Britain. तो अभी तक जो रोम ने और इटली ने जो अपना कब्जा जमाया हुआ था, वहाँ से उनका जो ट्रेड था वो शिफ्ट होकर के अब इंग्लैंड की तरफ और अटलांटिक ओशन यानी अमेरिका से उनकी डायरेक्ट ट्रेडिंग होने लगी थी. आफ्टर दे हैव डिस्कवर्ड द रूट्स टू नॉर्थ अमेरिका एंड साउथ अमेरिका एंड दे हैव एस्टैब्लिश्ड देयर कॉलोनीज ओवर देयर. What are the positive effect? The onset of textile industry also helped on the emergence of industry. I have already told you that industrial revolution is always associated with the textile industries. Okay. The flying, so what new machines were invented? First of all, these machines were invented in the textile industry, which gave a boom to the textile industry, like flying shuttle. तो फ्लाइंग शटल क्या था? इट वॉज कि कई सारे जो जो थ्रेड्स थे, तो एक साथ कई सारे थ्रेड्स स्पेन हो जाते थे, और इससे जो है टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री को बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ावा मिला था. देन इसमें आया था स्पिनिंग जेनी, द वाटर फ्रेम, द म्यूल, पावर लूम, रोड. ओके, सो इस तरह से आई कैन से दैट industrial revolution is directly associated with the textile industry. Then increase in production, increase of railways and canals. Railways took the industrialization to the second, क्योंकि जब टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज़ में इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन शुरू हुआ तो उनको रॉ मटेरियल्स लाने के लिए और जो फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स थे उनको ले जाने के लिए दे वांटेड the good transportation facilities, and for this they started laying down the railway lines and railway tracks all over the England and Britain to connect the cities. And in this way when the rail transport was used and it was the cheapest, it became the cheapest because first of all they were using the waterways or the water transport for carrying the bulky goods from one place to another, but it was not good during the winter season, because you know that England, it falls the climate of England is very cold, and especially during the winter time what happens, these all the canals or the rivers, they become frozen, and so it is not possible to transport one place during the winter season, so it was a barrier. But when the railways, they invented the railway engine and then they started laying down the railway lines, then the transportation facility was available throughout the 12 months, and so means good network they have formed. Okay, Thomas Scarby built a model steam engine. The miners friend, first of all जो इंजन बनाया था वो किसने बनाया था? थॉमस सैवरी ने, और वो उन्होंने माइन से जो कोला या आयरन निकाला जाता था उसको वो डायरेक्ट जो है इंडस्ट्रीज़ तक ले जाने के लिए इस्तेमाल करते थे. Another steam engine was built by Thomas Newcomen in 1700. This steam engine had been used only in coal mines, and James Watt developed a perfect steam engine in 1789 and established the Soul Foundry in Birmingham. ओके, इस तरह से और भी इन्वेंशंस हुए थे जैसे जेम्स. ओके, तो आज हम लोग इसमें इतना ही करते हैं, यहाँ तक केवल इन्वेंशन तक, एंड लेटर ऑन आई विल डू इट. ओके, तो इसमें था रिचर्ड फेडरिक डिवाइस्ड इन एन इंजन, द पफिंग डेविल इन 1800 एंड अ लोकोमोटिव, द ब्लशर इन 1814. द फर्स्ट रेलवे लाइन was ran between Stockholm and Darlington. The little railway mania मतलब madness prevailed from 1833 to 1837 and the bigger mania from 18 मतलब laying down the railway lines, मतलब वो एक तरह से पागलपन हो गया था कि रेलवे लाइंस बिछानी, तो इतनी ज़्यादा मतलब कई किलोमीटर्स तक उन्होंने लगातार रेलवे लाइंस बिछा दी थी. Advantages and disadvantages. In the 1830, the use of canals revealed several problems. The congestion of vessels made movement slow on certain stretches of canals. And first, so this I have told you that कि रेलवे लाइन से क्या फ़ायदा हुआ था कि मतलब पूरे 12 महीने तक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पॉसिबल था, जबकि जो वो पहले वो नहरों का इस्तेमाल करते थे और रिवर्स का, तो वो सर्दियों में पॉसिबल नहीं होता था क्योंकि वो जम जाती थी. ठीक है ना? तो दिस ऑल. ओके, सो फाइन, थैंक यू.